And welcome back. We're live from Seattle, Washington, the Super Smash Bros. Ultimate Championship 2024 qualifier. Jordan, Kent, EE, and Charles. We just took a quick little break. How cool is the scholastic opportunities, by the way, for those folks that want to get into Smash at the school level? Opportunity for varsity letters. It is a registered esport. It is a terrific opportunity for those players that want to get in at the ground level at competitive play.
I love it, man. It's something that I really wish I had when I was going to school, and it's just for the simple fact that it gives kids a place to feel like they have a place to fit in. You know what I mean? Not everybody's an athlete, not everybody's a chess champion. But I'll tell you what, a lot of those kids out there, they are amazing when it comes to video games, and I love the fact that Nintendo is helping foster that.
Take advantage of the opportunity, ride the wave. The growth continues to happen year after year after year as well, too. We also want to let you know, those of you in the Northeast and the Northwest regions, don't forget, it's still not too late to join the tournaments for your chance and an opportunity to qualify for the Super Smash Bros. Ultimate Championship 2024. If you want to get on board, get to that ladder round here, make sure you visit battlefy.com/Super Smash Bros. 2024 for registration information. With that, we get set for the loser side of the bracket. Let's go ahead and check things out after we've already sent our first player to grand finals. That is Zap. And now we get set for DT Foe against Cool Cactus. Don't forget, TT Foe had Incineroar. Cool Cactus we saw with me, Sword Fighter, and Marth as well. And so now again, Charles, we get to a situation, a grappler against somebody with an extended hitbox.
Yep, it's going to be the life Incineroar has to fight here. All of these disjointed hitbox to go ahead and combat Incineroar, especially that slow movement as well, right? But the main thing you want to think of as Incineroar is when they're throwing out that hitbox, Incineroar does have some armored moves, right? Like that Alolan Whip. That's going to be the main move here for Incineroar. You can go ahead and armor through these hitboxes and really put him in the grappling ring. And
that's really what you're looking for, is those opportunities, those windows to open up. If you are Incineroar, you have to be mindful, I'm sure, of how aggressive you're going to be against somebody that outranges you.
Oh, yeah, of course. And there's going to be the recovery factor, too. Again, you know, that cross-chop, great move in the Pokemon franchise as a recovery tool for Incineroar sometimes leaves a little bit to be desired. So if there is an opportunity for our boy Cactus to go off stage, best believe he's going to take it.
Well, has a bit of a home field advantage as well, too, in this stage. So we'll see. But early on matchup, building up 30%, and that's the kind of start that DT Foe's looking for, Charles.
Yeah, and shout out to Cool Cactus having all kinds of different fits here for the Mii Swords Fighter, so definitely going to be one of the advantages you have. But, oh, man, so far, Incineroar doing an amazing job of just racking up that damage. Tries to get the down smash, but nothing here. The forward smash almost connects, but off stage here, Incineroar, are you going to get punished?
Yeah, Cool Cactus able to connect with every single hit of that up B, and then coming down to earth, DT Foe creating a little bit of separation, and now a little cat and mouse, no pun intended, on the ledge.
I'll tell you what, man, we're really starting to see why this character can be such a threat. These big, strong hitboxes of Incineroar can do so much damage. The Alolan Whip, not going to get the KO, but we are seeing just the positioning he's getting off of these hits. It's going to come sooner rather than later. 144, impressive to survive this long, but I don't know. That this stock is feeling like it's on borrowed time.
Mii Sword Fighter hanging in there. Cool Cactus is trying to equal some of the damage here. The huge advantage for DT Foe. You got to close this stock out as soon as possible, Charles.
Yeah, absolutely, and you got to be really careful how you knock on that shield as well. The up tilt into the up air, trying to get some kind of juggle situation. DT Foe just falling straight to the ground. The swiftness here, and who's going to get this stock? Wow, the revenge does not get punished.
No, Cool Cactus starting to even this up. All of a sudden, a string of powerful hits. Here comes that Alolan Whip. Oh, right into your screen. That's going to take the first stock as DT Foe builds the early lead.
Like the little mix-up there, too, actually sending him upwards, maybe trying to trip the DI a little bit. It works out for sure. Though it took DT Foe a lot of time to actually get that KO, so that kind of allowed a little bit of a breathing room here for Cool Cactus, who, while he hasn't gotten the first KO yet, he's got him at 144.
Well, now the pressure shifts to Cool Cactus to try and take this stock here, Charles, because all of a sudden, every single bit of chip damage that you're getting if you're Incineroar, that is bonus.
Yeah, now Incineroar with the lead can kind of stand towards the center of the stage, throw out some of these safer Alolan Whip, especially at the center here, sending so far, tries to go for the down air dunk. Cross stage still going to survive Incineroar. This cat is heavy.
A masterful second stock here for DT Foe. Make that first stock as well as they continue to build their lead. And now just trying to find that opening here. The grab into the back throw at this point, and DT Foe trying to get back on stage. Cool Cactus just waiting for that opportunity, but still can't close out the stock until they do. Now both fighters down to their second stocks here, but you see the slight advantage for DT Foe.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. He knows it, too. Oh, my goodness. I love the fact he committed, goes for the revenge. Now he is all the way supercharged. Look for a big-time move off of this. Let's see if he can find the hit. Don't want to rush him down too hard. Let it come to you. Oh, no.
So far, a couple of pokes coming out. The follow-up from Cool Cactus, but DT Foe able to clear some airspace. And Charles, at this moment, if you're DT Foe, how aggressive are you going to be trying to go in there and find your opportunities?
You can just kind of sit back and wait, and finally, Cool Cactus is going to overextend. And I mean, DT Foe not really going too aggressive, just waiting patiently on stage. Now you're going to try to get this aggressive landing with the revenge. Not going to come too so early, but another Alolan Whip. And I got to say, Jordan, DT Foe has been amazing with these side specials.
It really has utilized them well to create a lot of separation, but just catching Cool Cactus at the right time and then sends them off the stage one more time. Can they get back onto the stage? They do, but now it's coming down to those last couple of hits here, EE.
Yeah, this is really getting out of hand for Cool Cactus, really feeling the pressure as the heat continues to intensify. No pun intended with the fire type, but you got to know when you're in a situation like that, you can just charge up a smash attack, and Cool Cactus jumps right into it. Credits for not being afraid, but my brother, you should have been.
The fire-type feline engulfs the Cool Cactus to take that first set, and what we saw there, it was really DT Foe dictating the pace of that one, Charles. It really felt like Cool Cactus was never quite comfortable, was always on the retreat trying to create a little bit of separation.
Yeah, because DT Foe was putting out so much pressure. There were so many times where there was so much fear instilled, right? And then you can kind of just step back with the Incineroar and punish really hard. And when you get your opponent to start doing some of these options too early, that's when Incineroar can get a lot of these reactions or just hard reads, especially that up smash towards the end. When Incineroar gets these hard reads, this character hits extremely hard, so you're really going to cash out on some early stocks.
That's a real good point you bring up because, EE, you have to make sure that you're not giving those opportunities to Incineroar. Those misses, those hard reads that make it predictable for a slower character to get in there. So we'll see if Cool Cactus has learned anything from the previous set, but here we go as we get set. An opportunity to advance for DT Foe. Cool Cactus hanging on for their tournament lives.
I do like the fact that Cool Cactus elected not to switch characters here. You know what I mean? I mean, it wasn't particularly, oh, if we could tech this, we're going to, oh, no, it goes the wrong way.
Oh, we're supposed to go right, not left.
Oh, that's got to be a heartbreaker because you do what you need to do. You drop down low, you get the edge guard on Cool Cactus, but unfortunately on your recovery, you flub it, and you're back to even ground. Actually, it's not even even because you're trailing now in percentage.
No, Cool Cactus followed up, down throw followed by the up B, and that might take the second one. No, DT Foe able to stay alive here, Charles.
Yeah, and I really want to see this offstage game come through for Sword Fighter. Cool Cactus has a lot of options, has the downer to cover low, and then also has those up Bs or back airs or fairs that can cover those high recoveries coming out from Incineroar. Incineroar usually going to opt to go high because of the main threat of the down air here. So I want to see if Cool Cactus can take advantage of that, and all of a sudden really in the favor of Cool Cactus, especially when that stock was looking dire for Cool Cactus.
You see Cool Cactus now continuing to send DT Foe off the stage, creating that separation. Just again, the back air to close things out. Such a punish right there.
Yeah, that's. I mean, I cannot believe how much of a 180 we've taken in this match. But credits to Cool Cactus when opportunities present themselves. You know what I mean? When they come knocking, you answer that door, and he has done just that. Opportunity to attack on some additional damage would be absolutely fantastic here against DT Foe. Again, keeping in mind how hard Incineroar hits. We want to make sure we don't leave anything on the table.
Yeah, to your point, DT Foe has got to get a KO quickly here. DT Foe all of a sudden now falling to Cool Cactus, but there is DT Foe able to send Cool Cactus off the stage. They're down to their final stock. 54%, not bad here, Charles.
Yeah, and that down smash was very clever coming out from DT Foe. Just a great way to get the punish on the dash grab. Incineroar just being so sky high, going up and over the grab and coming down with that hard-hitting punish. The nair into the spin here. Not going to be able to fully connect. The back air so close here. Oh, but wait a minute. Cool Cactus has an opening.
It was critical for DT Foe to get back on the stage, but my goodness, Cool Cactus making quick work on both of the hard-earned KOs after they both kind of SD'd early on.
Love those abrupt endings, okay? Love those abrupt endings because they just it's always something about exactly, right? Always something about Smash that just keeps on surprising you, and that was great. You know, I know DT Foe's got to be kicking himself because it's like, man, I really had an opportunity to be up so much within like the first, felt like 10 seconds of that match, and all of a sudden, you know, reality comes striking and you're going to game number 3. That's tough.
And it is. It just goes to show you how razor thin that margin is.
Yes.
And really, it was interesting because for a grappler, that was a smaller stage. But all of a sudden, struggled in that situation, Charles. And it's just interesting where you're going to see DT Foe go with the stage selection at this moment.
Yeah, and you got to really watch how you DI some of these moves, because especially that Chakram really stayed by that normal get-up area, and then the dash attack really taking that stock so early here. Usually Incineroar can live much, much longer. So even though the smaller stage, the earlier blast zone is not really doing any favors for DT Foe without the correct defense.
Early on, pretty even between both fighters, just trying to get that stage control here. Cool Cactus getting back up on top, but then the follow-up, and it feels like DT Foe a little bit more dialed into these recovery options.
Yeah, I would agree with that. And, too, I like the utilization of the Lariat as well. Really good tool from Incineroar as well. I'd like to see implemented a bit more when the offense does allow it to be the case, but still very even footing right now. Alolan Whip going to open up the stage control to DT, and he knows it, too. Goes for the Nair. That's going to be all she wrote. Simple and clean, but effective.
Oh, I like what you did there as well. So here we go. That Nair leads to the first stock going down for like that, and all of a sudden DT Foe adding on an extra 21, and this is where you've got to create the separation, Charles.
Oh, man, I really trying to utilize that down air. And that Nair, we talked about it earlier, one of the best edge guarding tools for Incineroar, just hits really far below here. The Chakram tries to get set up, a great job just waiting it out on DT Foe. But wow, Cool Cactus striking back with that up air.
And we're seeing a lot of really quick KOs coming out from Cool Cactus as well, just barely north of 100%.
Oh, yeah, of course. And, I mean, just getting that up air as well. Again, Incineroar very heavy, so getting these early KOs on Incineroar, wow, holding out to the very last second so the stomp doesn't come through.
The last little swipe of that blade was able to save things for Cool Cactus. Still alive at 131, trying to punish the recovery. Can't. Alolan Whip comes out and takes the second stock. It comes down to this.
And you'll notice when that Alolan Whip came out, too, when you're at those higher percents, your brain just immediately goes to defense mode. Was holding that shield. Alolan Whip cares nothing for that, just tearing through it. That command-like grab status going to allow DT to get a very sizable lead, just one stock away, Jordan, from advancing to losers finals.
Cool Cactus trying to just stay alive in this tournament, has to get back up on the stage, but red again, Charles. DT Foe, oh, do it to him as DT Foe closes it out in style.
Wow, and had enough time to go for the taunt there. DT Foe knowing there was no double jump on Cool Cactus, so got a little bit of time. Why don't you show the crowd what you want to do here, and then comes through with the stomp, ending it in style.
Oh, makes me want to stomp EE. And so getting that victory, that is a huge recovery there for DT Foe. And now they advance to losers finals, where they're going to get set to take on Cyan. And this will be an interesting matchup because you're going to have the Luigi, Mario, Dr. Mario, whatever might come out against this Incineroar, and won't have to deal with quite as much range on some of those attacks, but you're going to have a very mobile brawler that's going to make things a little difficult for you.
DT Foe knows that he's Incineroar through and through. Cyan is the one with a lot of options to bring to the table. The Luigi, the Dr. Mario, the regular Mario, right? And all of those characters, they kind of chew Incineroar up from a combo perspective, right? Because Incineroar can really be combo food for all of those characters. DT Foe's defense is going to be what could really carry him through this and being able to survive a lot of that onslaught. If he can weather the storm and get it down to those situations where it's going to be kind of final hit, searching for those KOs, he has a chance.
Well, let's go a little bit deeper. Let's talk about that defense. What does DT Foe need to keep in mind defensively against that trio that we might see of Luigi, Mario, and Dr. Mario?
Oh, right off the bat, avoid the grab. At those lower percents, you have got to avoid that grab. That is the catalyst that opens up so many options for all three of those. Most devastating being, of course, Luigi. As we know, 0 to boop, see you later.
And Charles, it'll be fascinating because you've got a Luigi, you've got a Mario, you've got a Dr. Mario. Where do you think Cyan goes with this matchup against Incineroar?
Yeah, it kind of just depends on where you want to all in. If you want to go for the Luigi, Incineroar is interesting because it's a character that loses to the mid-range and kind of forces your opponent into these brawler-type situations, all these scrambles, and I think Luigi can really thrive in that because when it's hit for hit, Luigi's the one that wins out.
Well, let's turn the page to Yoshi's story. Luigi will be the representative here for Cyan, and we'll see how they match up, grappler versus grappler at this point. And so far, Both fighters, EE, just kind of trading blows in the middle of the stage.
I think all things considered, this is one of the better stages to roll to because at least those tri-plats are going to offer a little bit of a safe haven when the opportunity does present itself. But of course, Luigi going to remain aggressive in a lot of these spots regardless. See those Zayers coming out trying to get in with the neutral air as well, and getting out of disadvantage with the Luigi Cyclone is a big thing as well. So it will make it a little bit more difficult for DT to get some guaranteed follow-ups, but it's just something you have to anticipate and then maybe just kind of counter.
And here we go, Luigi trying to get into one of those combos. 3 hits there. That'll rack up the damage. Down throw follows it up. And already a stock, Charles.
Yeah, Yoshi's story, the blast zone's very small here for both of these characters. We're going to see some really early stocks, and they are flying here. And yeah, that down throw into the Cyclone, very strong. And great thing that EE mentioned this as well, that Luigi Cyclone is a combo breaker type move. So sometimes you got to bait it out, and sometimes your guaranteed combos aren't so guaranteed versus Luigi.
Alolan whip to the top. Cyan able to recover safely. Out of shield options don't work for either one. Little jab combo coming up here from DT Foe. Gets back onto the stage. Neither fighter able to connect off stage there for a moment, but here comes Luigi EE. Oh, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. DT Foe able to recover.
Yeah, he's putting together a really nice combo string momentarily. Here we go, Luigi Missile getting back safely. Oh, Cyclone swinging, but nobody home. Great opening for DT Foe. Maybe thinking a Alolan whip. He's looking for an opening. Oh, big whip on that grab, and that's going to lead to a dash attack, which leads to a KO. Well done.
Yeah, miss there. Huge opportunity for DT Foe and able to capitalize. And now 2-1 advantage in the stocks. Oh, Cyan almost took a quick one to even it up, but DT Foe able to get back onto the stage. Oh, but Cyan plunges in to the wool waters, and all of a sudden, that is game 1 for DT Foe.
And Incineroar holding the belt, really proud there of that win. And I mean, getting that KO so early versus the Luigi there. In that position, Luigi maybe thought, oh, I need to go ahead and tech the stage because I'm getting hit, but at such low percents, it really kind of depends on the hitbox of the move. And sometimes it happens so quick, it's hard to make that snap decision. And with the lag of the air dodge, not able to make it back, effectively, you know, losing the stock at 0% so early, but really impressive stuff coming out from Incineroar. Not getting snatched up too often, honestly.
They will not waste any time. DT Foe and Cyan get right back into it. Luigi versus Incineroar. It will be a rematch and some good sportsmanship beforehand as well, too, for both of them. We like to see that. And already it's Cyan that racks up 43% against DT Foe, and a little bit more room to work with here on this stage, EE.
I like this a lot, actually, for Cyan because you've removed any platforms from the equation. This is something Luigi is going to be looking for, a lot of grabs and maybe a little bit more guaranteed follow-ups. But you can see right here, DT Foe not at all shying away from the challenge. The aggressiveness from this man has continued, and this is really a slugfest in this opening stock.
Yeah, a couple of fighters missing some openings. Oh, but there's that sound, and you know that's trouble on the other end. DT Foe losing the first stock. Cyan, that up B is unbelievable, Charles.
Oh, so strong, and it's pretty much the strongest punish Luigi can bring to the table here, and because of that, Cyan is going to rack up even more damage, getting the soft hit of those up airs so you can chain them over and over again. Going to go ahead and disengage 69%, still a good amount of damage here for Cyan. Cyan trying to find another opening, but really good stuff on DT Foe, landing with the forward smash as well. Looks like getting the tipper hitbox on that.
An impressive comeback from DT Foe. It was looking like Cyan had a huge advantage here, EE, but DT Foe able to kind of even things up here just a little bit, trying to get back in the middle of this stage though, but those Zayers coming out. Cyan just looking for that opportunity, has to come down and the punish from DT Foe.
He completely baited out that up B attempt too. That was very smart by DT Foe. And one thing you're going to notice too, Jordan, a lot of those leads sometimes that you have against a character like Incineroar, they can almost feel false because of how much damage he can actually put out. But when you have those follow-ups like that, it doesn't really matter at the end of the day.
Yeah, Charles Foe missed the opportunity on the cooldown after the smash. Cyan able to string that into a nice combo, and now it's Cyan with the 2-1 advantage. Now you have a chance to be a little bit more patient. You don't have to necessarily give those openings to DT Foe.
You gotta be really careful as well if you're DT Foe. You don't want Luigi to get that grab and rack up a ton of damage. I love the revenge. Gonna wait it out, waits the double jump out, but still gets the back air off the ledge jump. DT Foe being very smart in that situation. Not going exactly all in on the edge guard, but waiting for the ledge option after.
DT Foe, a chance to go to grand finals. Cyan just trying to stay alive here in this tournament. Back row off the stage, both fighters recover, rolling back into the middle. Cyan trying to protect the middle ground, but now it's DT Foe that comes back down to earth, and now EE, it's just a neutral game. Who's going to get the advantage?
Exactly, and it's not too often that you see an Incineroar as bold as DT Foe, willing to go off the stage, but Luigi, you know, that recovery can definitely leave some things to be desired, and you can tell it right now. DT Foe sensing that his prey is at his tail end at 85%, man. Incineroar thrives at surprising people and getting KOs at these kind of percentages.
Cyan trying to get back on, and that'll do it. DT Foe 2-0 over Cyan to head to Grand Finals. And so Incineroar was the pick, stuck with it, had no issues with the grappler Luigi, but it really felt like that second stock, Charles, able to get that very quick KO. All of a sudden, it was one stock each, 27%. DT Foe started to feel very comfortable at that moment.
Oh, yeah, and as you can see, DT Foe has some tricks that he likes to save for the very end, just like putting all of that upfront pressure and then stepping back to the roll area, getting that huge up smash swing. We saw it work on 2 different players, so really great stuff to go ahead and close that set out. I love the tricky movement.
Let's check out the updated bracket after DT Foe gets the 2-0 sweep over Cyan, and that'll set up a rematch from our very first winter semifinal, Zap versus DT Foe, where it really wasn't close. Now you wonder, has Incineroar learned a few more tricks, or will Bowser Jr. continue to outdistance and out-trick everyone here, EE?
You know, I would argue that 2-0 loss, which was pretty one-sided on the favor of Zap, is maybe what's fueling DT Foe in this loser side of the bracket. Because you think about it like this. I know I'm better than what I showed up there. So I'm going to use that as motivation to get through loser semis, get through losers finals, get the grands, and then really give you a show. Because a lot of times, Jordan, the measure of revenge that you're seeking can be enough to really power you through. I've seen it happen before. You play with some rage and some good things happen in-game, of course.
Well, rage and revenge, options for Incineroar. You're putting the puzzle pieces together here, EE. And Charles, at the end of the day, you can have all the emotional get-up that you want, but it comes down to the X's and O's and how you execute. And so far, Bowser Jr. has looked flawless compared to the rest of the field here.
Yeah, I think Zap, just as a player, has really come through, and you can see all of his hard work, the punish game, the combo game really on point, knowing all these different matchups, and it can be very difficult when there's so many different fighters in Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. So a lot of these players that really dedicate to their craft, I show them a lot of respect because you can just see it in their gameplay, right?
And to follow up with you, Charles, it feels like Bowser Jr. just has so many more angles to approach you and surprise you with, whether it's the Mecha Koopas, the combos, the out-of-the-clown card options. We've seen all that. Has DT Foe learned anything after crawling through the loser side of the bracket, getting back to Grand Finals? Can they reset it, or will Zap and Bowser Jr. close this thing out without a scratch? Here we go as we get set in this first matchup, and early on you see DT Foe holding down middle of the stage here for the most part, EE.
I mean, you know, really the battle just starts with getting a game off, because I don't believe Zap has lost a game at all throughout the entirety of this bracket run, which in and of itself, Jordan, may be a first. You know what I mean? That actually may be a first for us, so that is incredible for sure. Obviously, we know DT Foe very much so motivated, wants a little bit of a measure of revenge. Off to not a bad start at all. He's got him at 68, but this is where Zap really starts to kind of pick things up in that clown cart, attempting to aid him right there.
However, DT Foe hanging in there, able to match blow for blow, but then off the stage, the edge guarding, and that's going to go ahead and take the very first stock. And we mentioned it, Charles, just so many different angles and much more distance, but DT Foe, the follow-up.
Yeah, DT Foe returning the favor there, saying, hey, I might not have the best recovery, but I can go off stage too with these very aggressive forward airs or back airs, and Incineroar hitting much harder than Bowser Jr., so you got to be real careful there. Not going to be able to get the nair into the grab, and look at this combo string that Zap is able to put together for the punish.
Yeah, after a beautiful spot dodge as well, the dash can't follow up with the out-of-clown card option, and really, EE, we've seen for the most part that it looks like Zap very comfortable attacking from above, doesn't mind putting Incineroar below them.
Yeah, for sure. And it's because of the advantage that he gets, right? If he is able to hit from that angle, just pop him up and get one of those mean follow-ups as well. Oh, no! Coming up a little bit short. I can't harp on it enough. That recovery leaves so much to be desired at times.
DT Foe, though, can make up for all of it if they can just get a quick KO. However, it's Zap racking up all sorts of damage here, Charles.
Again, those combo strings are clean here, going off the top there. DT Foe being really creative, not actually going for the one that does the most damage here. You can do it different ones at different times for the Alola Whip, but the forward smash is not, it's not enough, though. It's not enough.
EE, you're frozen in time.
Regardless of him losing that match right there, I want to say getting out of disadvantage up there that close to the blast zone with the Alolan Whip was absolutely brilliant, just chucking him up. That was brilliant, okay? That's a moral victory, Jordan, that I just have to tip my cap to. That was insane.
Right.
Wow.
Well, either way, Zap picking up the first game 1-0, now just one game away from claiming the title here today in this championship 2024 qualifier. And it felt like if you're Incineroar and DT Foe, that was much closer than what we saw in that very first winter semifinal. Still just making a few more errors than Zap, and that was the difference, it felt like, Charles.
Yeah, there can be very slight things that happen in the game which not going to be very beneficial to Incineroar. Again, sometimes you can just tap Incineroar off stage, and that is going to be the stock. Like EE was saying, I mean, not the greatest recovery in the game, and Zap definitely going to abuse that for this matchup.
Will it come down to this? Zap has to pick up one more game to go ahead and claim the championship for the Southeast, or will DT Foe push this thing to a third game with an opportunity to reset the bracket? Here we go, going back and forth, holding down the middle of the stage is DT Foe, creating a little bit of distance, but we're seeing Zap being a little bit more measured in their approaches. Still not enough to get through those defenses of DT Foe.
Yeah, it's interesting that Zap just has different kind of gears, right? Sometimes he's operating in, gear 4, sometimes he's operating in gear 2. He is somebody who can really kind of switch up the tempo and the pace. Now, right now, you can see him being very aggressive, understanding that, yes, that recovery of Incineroar, of course, as we harped on it before, not the greatest. Didn't even really need to do anything, just knocking him far enough where it wasn't even going to be an option.
You saw quickly taking that first stock, DT Foe trying to get right back into this, but still Zap looking very healthy in the 1-2 follow-up, has you slapping the table in disbelief.
I mean, it's just crazy, man. This kid is just something really special, and it goes to show you that Bowser Jr. is not a character, Jordan, people traditionally have on their radar for like a top-tier threat. Zap completely rewrites the book on that, being an absolute menace, as DT Foe is finding out firsthand.
And Zap with those dashes getting back onto the stage, takes the second stock. Yep. A pristine 3-1 stock lead. Zap can smell it. An opportunity to claim the title here today for the Southeast. Just has to close things out against DT Foe, and they are determined to do so. Sending him to the ground one more time out of the clown cart, popping off and doing it in precise fashion is Zap, showing everybody why they were head and shoulders above the rest of the competition.
The jab reset into immediate KO is insanity. Zap, somebody who you can tell is a little bit of a lab monster, because there's a lot of percent windows in specific situations where you have to be ready to capitalize. Clearly, he knows every single combo route available to this character, and that is why he is a champion on the day. Well earned, Jordan.
And again, it's just the options that they have at their disposal every single time that they were approaching. It was you didn't know if you were coming out of the clown cart, if a Mega Koopa was coming, or even just dashing back onto the stage. It was too much pressure, too much speed, and it just felt like Incineroar burned through those 9 lives and had their heads spinning around trying to figure out where Bowser Jr. was coming from.
But you see what I was talking about when I told you that he has those gears, right? We saw gear 2, and then before you knew it, it was gear 4, it was gear 5, and it was over. You know what I mean? Like, that's how quickly he can kind of switch the tempo and operate. And for somebody like Zap, somebody who's really, made his name more in the competitive Smash scene through the online world, this is somewhere where he really thrives. He's very comfortable understanding, yes, there's a lot of talent on the other side of the monitor, but why can I not be the better player on the day? Does a wonderful job. Congratulations to him.
Zap has now earned a chance for an invite to the Super Smash Bros. Ultimate Championship 2024, being held August 25th. And we also want to thank the other competitors for making it this far. They'll go home with some Nintendo Gold points, and you'll have 8,000 My Nintendo Gold points for second place, 6,000 for third place, and 6,000 more for fourth place as well, too. So a wonderful opportunity to rack up some points and get yourself some software. But for the most part, it just goes to show you the depth of each character in this game. And Bowser Jr., we've seen it time and time before. Some people kind of sleeping on Bowser Jr., but can be a surprise pick with, again, just everything that they can throw at you.
Yeah, and it was a lot of fun, too, because we've had an opportunity to do a lot of these Smash Ultimate qualifiers, Jordan, me and you, and I've been a privilege to sit with you and do this.
Oh, likewise.
Of course. But, we've never actually seen a Bowser Jr. go on a run. DT Foe is somebody, I think we had the privilege at a PAX East to commentate him doing pretty well, having a really good run. Was even an alternate at one point in one of the I think 2019 he was an alternate. So we know DT Foe is a very talented player and he's comfortable on this stage. However, Zap letting you know this new breed is coming to play and they ain't playing too nice.
That memory of yours is a steel trap. Let's go ahead and kick it over to Charles that's standing by, our telestrator. Charles, a lot of fun in that last set there between Incineroar and Bowser Jr.
And of course, I have to throw it over to the clip. The taunt into the down air, that was very, very beautiful coming out from DT4 here. So some more Incineroar action. We're going to go ahead and play the clip on this very last stock. DT4 did an incredible job of just racking up the damage, using that dash attack to kind of close in the zone, but here gets hit and then gets put onto the ledge here, right? So from this position, DT4 going to look for some kind of hitbox to try and get this offense going. After the air dodge here, goes for the forward air, gets the hit, then off this tech chase, gets the dash attack, right? We're going to set up his opponent, Cool Cactus, on to the left side of the stage. With this neutral, go ahead and pause it here. Because that neutral goes ahead and trades, DT4 actually, since he's at such low percent, it's going to be right here by the stage, and DT4 knows that there is no double jump here. Because of that, DT4 is like, hey, I got enough time, throw out the taunt, line up the down air, and that's going to be the game. So we can go ahead and play the rest of this stock here. Oh, actually first goes into the down tilt, which combos into the forward air. Now, okay, sorry, DT4. Now you got time to throw out the taunt. There's that established distance, lines up the down air, and just like that, DT4 ends it off in style. So what an amazing set there, and I mean, amazing tournament overall. We're gonna throw it to a quick break. We'll be right back.